All right, thank you for having me, Rob. I'd like to introduce something fun that you can perhaps do with 8 to 20 students or even more. It's called the Word Engine Team Challenge Vocabulary Tournament. You may enter one team or several teams. If your team wins, you get 1 year of Word Engine services for all students at your school. That was Rob's suggestion. I'm hoping the team from Mexico doesn't win because they have over 50,000 EFL students. A bit of background, for many years we conducted individual study tournaments with Word Engine, and I'll introduce that in a minute. And the students who participated in these individual tournaments, they learned thousands of new words in very short periods of time. But despite their amazing achievements, the vast majority of other students remained unmotivated by the few. So I reckoned a better approach was needed, a team-based approach. And that led me to cooperative learning, which was first proposed by Robert Slavin of Johns Hopkins University. And he suggested that groups of students can study independently at their own levels and still compete as teams in a series of matches in a tournament format. Well, that seemed just the ticket for us. So last year we gave it a go for the first time, and it was amazing. The beauty of the cooperative learning tournament is that the students pull together and they motivate each other to learn more. So it's actually less work for the teacher. So, and our first team challenge, as I mentioned, it showed a 25% increase in overall academic achievement. And we're very precise in the way we measure that. And if you, as you learn more about Word Engine, or if you care to, you'll understand how precise. But even more than 25% overall for participants, a whopping 50% increase for the teams who were still active in the final rounds of the tournament. So I started thinking, oh man, I have to find a way to keep more teams active longer in the tournament. So I started researching tournament structures, and it's quite fascinating. What's more, though, is that this kind of cooperative learning, according to Slavin and others, helps team members develop more interpersonal communication skills, which are lifelong social values that go way beyond just the high-frequency vocabulary that they learn during the tournament. So even if a team leader cannot meet their team face-to-face during this crisis, obviously, they must still be able to communicate about team performance, and especially about the competitor's performance. We post the official tournament standings once a week, but we provide team leaders with information about their competitors several times a week. So each team leader must have a way to communicate with the team members, either by email or by a Facebook group or some other type of service. So I'll just assume you have to, please understand, you have to have that if you're going to participate. It doesn't do any good for team members to find out on Monday that just a few more minutes of study and they might have won the weekly match. And it's helpful to know that the research shows that one common email sent to all team members is as productive as sending individual private messages. So that makes it a little easier for the leader to manage. Each team challenge tournament consists of 4 or 5 weekly rounds of match competition. In the first round, for example, the teams are matched together randomly. In this example, there are 6 teams. There are 8 Hawks players, and they're up against 15 toucans. There are 12 kangaroos, and they're playing 9 tigers, 10 eagles playing 14 pandas. Each of these pairings is a match. It doesn't matter how many players are on a team because we count the average correct responses per team member, not the total correct responses of all team members. At the end of the first round, we'll see that the Hawks did 628 average correct responses, and that means they beat the toucans, so they get 1 match point. All match winners get 1 match point, and the losers get no points. The two highest performing teams after the first round were the Tigers with 789 average correct responses, and the Eagles with 976 ACR. So these two teams are going to face each other in the second round. Otherwise, it would be too easy for them to keep winning. The lowest performing teams were the Toucans and the Kangaroos. So these two are going to play each other in the next round. So they have a good chance of scoring a first match point. The Hawks and the Pandas are the mid-level performers. So they're going to play each other in the next round. And as you can see, it's going to be an exciting match because they were so close in what they did in the first round. So this is what it might look like after the high, mid, and low teams have faced off against each other at the end of the second round. The high and low matching structure gives every team a chance to score points and come back and win the competition. So that now after the final round, all teams are ranked not by their ACR, but by their number of points. Now, with this type of structure, it is likely that two or more teams will have the same number of match points. And in a 4-week tournament, it's either going to be 3 or 4, and there'll be several teams that have the same amount of match points. So what happens is, with any such ties, they're broken by comparing the average weekly correct responses of the team. You can see the formula on there. You just basically add that's their average for the total tournament. So that's how the tournament works. And we run open, anywhere can compete, and we also mostly run intramural tournaments just for the classrooms at the same school. Japanese, they're famous for being a little shy, and they don't like to necessarily see their school lose to another school. So they like to keep it all within the school. Well, that's the team challenge. Let me pop out of that. And I thought maybe you might want to see how the word engine works. So let me run that. Let's see, I go back down here.
Go back to share, you'll get the pop-up and double click on what you want to show.
Okay. All right, good. So let's just play this.
Word Engine is a highly effective vocabulary learning application for mobile phones and computers.
Yes.
Word Engine quickly improves your comprehension and increases scores on standard tests. Sign up and activation. Word Engine is a web app. It works on the browser in your mobile phone or computer. Word Engine is not in the app stores. Open your browser and search for Word Engine. And for easy access to Word Engine, be sure to save a launch icon on your home screen. If your teacher gave you a login ID and password, just tap the light blue login button. The first page you'll see when you log into your account is your My page. All new students begin by taking the VCheck test. Tap the red Go button to get started. VCheck takes about 12 minutes. Just think about the words at the top and choose the correct match from the 3 choices at the bottom. Some questions are listening questions. You'll need to tap the green sound button to hear the word before you can answer. When it's 100% finished, VCheck prepares a personal vocabulary score report just for you. Tap the orange button to see it. Your VCheck score report shows how many words you know for each subject and how your vocabulary size correlates to standard test scores. Now that you have a VCheck score, you can study with your personal word lists. Go back to My page and open the course library to select your vocabulary courses, the courses you want to study. Back on My page, each time you tap the red Go button beside a course, the Word Engine automatically prepares the most important words for you to study. You can study with flashwords or the word panic games. Flashwords are digital flashcards with built-in spaced repetition to help you develop long-term memory retention. Word Panic is a series of retro-style games where you win by getting the correct answers before time runs out. After every study session, you can see how many correct responses you made and check the meanings of the words you missed so you can get them right the next time. Weekly study goals. Your teacher's weekly study goal will appear on your My page. Do not wait until just before the weekly deadline to study. Work a little bit every day to beat the daily goal. If you have a question about Word Engine, tap the Contact Us link on the menu. Thank you very much for choosing Word Engine.
Okay, well, that's Word Engine. That link is on the document, which we're calling the guidelines, that has all kinds of detailed information about the tournament and the Word Engine and the science behind it. So I think my 10 minutes are up. You're welcome to contact me. There's a link on the guidelines document to ask other questions. But basically, to join, you just need 8 students or a max of 20 per team. And you need their email addresses or some way to contact them, because I'm going to send you the login IDs if you're the team leader. And then you send them to the students.
Hi, everyone.